Well, hey everybody, we got a new church sign. Heaven knows when you were here last. Oh my goodness, that is a good one, a real good one, because in the reality of who we are and the reality of what heaven is, that's deep. That right there is deep. Heaven knows when you were here last. And the reason I can say that that's a very important spiritual lesson to understand and learn, it can be interpreted in a multitude of ways, because there's a finite and a multiple way. There's a global way and then there's a universal way. But in the knowing of who I am, I can even understand the great mystery of who we are in me. I've always been and I always will be. I was with my Father before this so-called world was ever had a foundation. It was a thought, it was a word, it was a spoken vibratory field of possibilities. Through the imagination of our wanting to know our Father, we can awaken to the Christ consciousness that lies within each and every atom, every cell, every nucleus of every DNA molecule, down to the actual mitochondria cells and to the telomeres itself. We can speak healing, love, and energy to ourselves and to others around us. Our bodies are becoming stronger and younger if we see it as possible. If we take the action to do the work, to clean our bodies up, to get rid of the parasites. That's what's happening in the reality of this world. We're getting rid of the parasites. The disclosure that's coming forth from getting rid of the parasites is enabling people to have a transmuting reality awakening down to their root of who they are. They're asking questions within their own conscious level, on their own vibratory field of knowing. And if you ask, you will seek the truth. You will find what Father, Mother has for you to know about this reality in you, because you think you see a world out there. You think you see a reality, but you're seeing a fiction. You're seeing a drama played out in this world of time-space continuum that actually time doesn't even exist if you wake up to who you are in consciousness of the resurrected power of the I Am presence that lives in you. You'll realize the only time there was that Yeshua talked about was now. There is no future. The future is now. So you got to take control of your bridle and how you say things and how you think and how you attract it to conflict and drama. It's very important to detach, cut the strings, cut them, and focus on the most important thing there is, and that's your breath. If you haven't stopped to just breathe for 3 hours in a slow, vibratory, loving field of meditative bliss, I would heavily advise you to do that. I've been doing it for so long, it's so easy. People, they see that I practice yoga. Yeah, I am yoga. My breath is very important to me. It wasn't at one time. At one time, it was a mystery. I didn't know that it was that important. And I was not healthy then, mentally, physically, spiritually. But once I realized how important the breath is, I was able to get on about understanding what is the true interpretation of the word yoga. And why did so many in the church world want to come against it when it was definitely a teaching of Yeshua ben Joseph. Heaven is now, people, and hell is that torment that separates the wheat from the tare within each and every particle of every atom down to the nucleus of the essence of Christ consciousness within you. The spark of God lives and has its being in heaven when you awaken to the truth of who you are. You are not your story. You are not who you think you are. You're very, very powerful light body being inhabiting a physical form for a very short, finite time. That's deep. That's deep. But that's who we really are down at our essence. We're the very thing that Christ is. That was the message of Yeshua, Jesus. I call him Jay sometimes. It don't matter what you call him because you're talking to yourself when you say anything that has to do with who the personality of Christ is. It's the Son of God, and it's a sonship of a man Christ being birthed in a reality in this world as a collective consciousness. There's no putting this thing back in the can. We are clearing and cleansing the parasites within us and the parasites that have manipulated this matrix holographic reality and kept us in confusion of who we really are. We are loved deeply and protected deeply, more deeply than I can explain. Trust. Stop all the negative behavior. Stop your negative thoughts. Take control of every thinking thought that you have. That's when you practice yoga, how you'll figure that out, is that you can control your thoughts. The only thing in this reality that we can actually control is our thoughts. Ask good questions. Ponder on the reality of when the last time was that you was in heaven. We are eternal light body beings. And get this, we're one. We're one creation. We're one vibratory field. Just as the atoms within your body have no identity until they have all the identity of the Christ consciousness of the I Am, speaking and living inside of you. Heaven is within you, and you have honestly never left heaven. We popped in this world as avatars to experience hell on earth or heaven on earth. We make it or we break it with our thinking. I love you. Thank you for watching my channel. It's a deep subject, but I'll keep on trying to teach myself so I can explain it to y'all. God knows we need some explanation about what's going on in this world right about now. Y'all have a good one.